my editorship of clinical research, which ran until the end of 1975, people in research ethics began to refer to this journal as the Journal of Medical Ethics. There was no other journal in medical ethics at the time. And the first one who used that designation was Ken Ryan. And that's because when I took the job as being editor of clinical research, historically it had only been concerned with publishing presidential addresses and other such exercises. And I said, I will take this on condition that I am able to use the narrative portions. See, most of the journal was concerned with abstracts of papers to be presented at meetings. I said I wanted what I call the prose, as distinguished from the poetry, to be concerned with what I then called the social, economic, legal, sociologic ecology of clinical research. And over the first 2 years, I had sociologists, I had lawyers, and so on. But during the last 3 years, it was almost all on the ethics of research involving human subjects, which was very much on target with the purpose of the organization. It was the largest organization of people who did research involving human subjects in the country.
And then going on to found IRB, was that because you thought the journal Clinical Research
It wasn't mine anymore.
Wasn't yours anymore?
I mean, we had a 5-year term.
You needed a new venue.
That's what I needed. But also, more importantly, I got together with Bob Veach, and Bob Veach brought Tom Shannon in on the conversation. And we sat down and agreed to found a journal in the field. And I said, part of my vision is that what we need in research ethics is an analogy to what the case law does for the law. Nobody knows what the real cases look like and what an IRB does when it takes on a problematic case. How does it conduct its analysis? Essentially writing what would stand as an opinion in an appellate decision. And that's what I said, I'm not going to call it common law, I'm going to call it common sense. And that's the term I put into it. The term was suggested to me by Guido Calabresi. And then we said, okay, we're going to do this thing, we're going to apply for a grant, and who's going to be the editor? I said, well, which one of you has ever edited anything? And it turned out I was the only one who'd ever been an editor, so I was the editor.
Say something about what you think the journal has done through the years.
I think in the early days, we published a lot of very good analytic case studies. We also published a lot of stuff that even just 2 weeks ago, I joined this National Research Council committee on revision of the common law for social and behavioral science. And it came up at the meeting. Has anyone ever seen an article on this? And I said, yeah, I edited a journal where we published that. And so I have had considerable correspondence just putting those papers from the early 1980s out now in front of a new audience. The case studies, I think, are a very rich resource. You can take these cases that are focused on a specific issue and generalize from there. Not that I think it's a good idea to overgeneralize, but following the fundamental principles of case law, casuistry, you look at the paradigm case and see if there's some way that it is distinguished from the case in front of you. And if it's not, you can pretty much say, well, how did we handle this last time out? And that's a great contribution, I think. If I may say that my little contribution was great.
Yeah.